not a single cough to be had. I am tempting fate. So everyone that didn't like the coughing, and you can often looks like the tablets worked. So welcome to the body of the Kirk. I'm a little delirious. Well, not delirious. I'm a bit off me head tonight. Just for your information, I had a bit of a family emergency during the evening, like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I've had to, I've not had much sleep. So I'm a bit all over the place. My deep dives are not as deep. See, I tempted fate, and look what happens. Just the one. So we had a family emergency in the middle of the evening. It's all resolved. Nobody died. Close, but nobody died. And so I haven't really been able to pay as much attention and forensic detail to this evening's live. Other than that, I have to say that I need your guidance and advice. I'm a bit, well, I don't really know what to do, because Sister Mary's come up to me today. And she said, Rev, we've got a problem. And I was like, oh, dear God, it's Sunday. It's God's day. Don't I get a day off? Jesus Christ had a day off, mind you. Who's he playing centre forward for now? Jesus? Is it Nottingham Forest? You'll find I'm right. I'm factual. Jesus is playing for Nottingham Forest. I know that because we beat them 1-0 yesterday. I've been in contact with Sandra Whittam today, the #1 Blades fan in the world and in the body of the Kirk, and she's fine. She's not on any of the lives until mid-October because she's busy and away, and she's fine. So I sent her the body of the Kirk's regards in the fact that the Blades have won finally after 6 defeats, which is something to celebrate. So Sandra, if you're on catch-up, brilliant, and well done for the first win of the season. Hopefully not the last, and playoffs by the end of the season. So the problem is that, I say ghetto defendant. What can I say? The footy wasn't great. We were very lucky. You had 70-odd% of the possession yesterday, and if I may be so bold, Nottingham Forest, having, my association with Century 106 and Brian Clough, and having been to the City Ground quite a few times to watch the lads, including, I don't know what Get a Defendant, whether you remember, I've got the shirt signed by everyone. There was the old Nottingham Forest European Cup winners side taking on a charity side for charity money, and I think they raised an awful lot of money. My mate Larry Lloyd, who's sadly no longer with us, he played slowly, obviously, because Larry was a big old boy, but fabulous man. Cloughie was there. It was all just a wonderful evening. So there's a lot of love in the body of the Kirk for Nottingham Forest. Let me tell you, I was just saddened that we had to beat you 1-0. We'll take that. 11 points now. 11. There's not. I think that was the target. First target for Sunderland to stay up. Oh, Jesus, man. David Graham. Oh, sorry, Jesus, he's playing for Nottingham Forest. Sunderland away to Manchester United next Saturday. Then it's the international break. Well, it wouldn't surprise me. They didn't do very well yesterday. They're, full of donkeys. Talking of donkeys, we'll get to Starmer in just a little while. So let me get back to Big Dog Diggers and Sister Mary. Sister Mary is well, it's been a very special week this week in the body of the Kirk, because we've taken, it was the Austrian nuns that said this would be a good idea. They said, get a dozen chickens for the eggs, and we can make cheese scones. And so I agreed, obviously. Sister Mary was going to oversee it. She was going to be the event planner and project coordinator, so she was going to overlook it. And seemingly, it was pandemonium when the chickens arrived, because it came with a cockerel. I'm not sure whether that is normal, but Sister Mary was trying to get hold of a big dog Diggers, and she kept shouting, "Big Diggers, Big Diggers, Big Diggers." And I was like, "Sister Mary, what you doing, man? You'll have the neighbours round." She said, "Oh, look, a Big Diggers is chasing the chickens." I said, "Oh, right, okay. Right, get him on a leash, get hold of him, both hands, because Big Diggers is quite strong. You're going to have to use two hands on Big Diggers." So she managed to get hold of the dog. I mean, it's only a dash hunt, so I mean, it's all relative. She's only a wee thing. And one of the Austrian nuns came running over, all flushed and red in the face. And I said, "Oh, not you as well. Has Big Diggers got hold of your chicken?" And she said, "No. I've just been to see the bishop." I said, "Right." She said, "Is one of those chickens the bishop's chicken?" I said, "Well, we can name some of them. I mean, you could call my chicken Ranty for Ranty Rev." No. That bloody Austrian nun. She said, "So there's three of us. I've got two names for two chickens. We need another one for the third." I was like, all right then. But she says, "So can I name one Zig and can I name another one Heil?" And I said, "No." She said, "Why not? They're cute names." I said, "I'm not having you running around shouting Zig and Heil in the body of the Kirk. Can you imagine? That's 2025. The trouble that we're going to get into." I said, "I know you're Austrian, and I know weird things come out of Austria, Klaus Schwab and other people. So no, you'll have to think of some other names. In fact, what I'll do is I'll go into the body of the Kirk this evening and ask the parishioners if they want to. There's 12 chickens. Well, there's 11 now, because seemingly this Austrian nun barged in on the bishop as he was choking one of the chickens. So I don't know which one it was. It was a beauty from what I can gather. So the Austrian nun is shocked and well, perplexed that she walked in on the bishop choking his chicken. And I said, just ignore him. Just be careful he doesn't give you his finger, because the bishop's finger can get things lively. And I said, and also, what we're going to do about that cockerel? And Sister Mary said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, you've got to keep him away from the chicken, so we're going to need a big cock cage. What we're going to do with that?" And she said, "Oh, Reverend, not quite sure." I said, "Give me your phone. I'll look after the cock cage. Just give me your phone, because I'm not having you Googling cock cage, because it'll get us into trouble. The Austrian nuns naming the chickens was bad enough, and then the bishop choking one of them is even less." So, body of the Kirk. If anyone has any decent names, we can do Anchor for a Starmer. We could do Us and all. And I don't mind the Austrian nuns running around the body of the Kirk shouting Us, Arsenal, because well, it's bless them. It's a language barrier. They can't really speak good English. And then Sister Mary said, "Reverend, I am feeling quite sad and down today." I said, "Why is that, Sister Mary? I know Big Dog Dickers hasn't eaten anything, so don't worry. It's only a dash hunt, for goodness sake. You know, just both hands and you're fine." And she said, "Well, I was going to try and find some swans." I said, "Oh, don't be doing that, man, because they belong to the crown. They belong to the monarch. All the swans, they belong to the monarch. So if you get your hands on one of those swan necks, then we're buggered, so to speak. Technical term, obviously." And she said, "I know, but there's very few of them around. There used to be loads of them, Rev. I don't know where they've all gone." I said, "There's no immigrants around here, is there?" "Oh, yeah. There's, just down there. There's an encampment." I said, "Right, you'll know where they've gone then." So Stuart's now suggesting I have a name for one of them. Shuttle. That'll be for the cockerel then. Shuttlecock in the cock cage, in the bishop's cock cage. And well, what can I say? Boyhood club, and I'm born in Rotherham. Blimey, Simon. Which one's that? Forest. Evening, Alan Blindfold. Evening, yeah. Rollins, welcome to the body of the Kirk. So it's been a very unusual day today. We've had chickens choked, trying to source a big cock cage. Please don't Google it if you've got anybody around, especially kids, because I'm not sure what you'll get in your search returns. I think even AI will be like, oof, no, I'm not going anywhere near that one. You can do that yourself. No images, please. Well, the Austrian nuns, they're nothing but bloody trouble, man. I don't know what to do with them. Des Ashton, a good name for Dashant would be D4 Dashant. D4 Dashant. I'm not getting the gag, Des. I think it's because I'm tired today. So, evening, one and all. Welcome to the body of the Kirk. Tonight's live is going to be interesting, I feel, because I haven't really... I've still got 3 days of this, the bloody antibiotics to go. It should be gone by then. Stuart, don't. I'm not. Alexa, say I've switched her off. She's listening, and she'll tell tales, but she doesn't respond to me because I'm too direct. Oi, slut. She'll talk to anybody except me. What's the difference between a slut and a bitch? Slut is someone who, and they're male and female. It's not just gender specific. Slut is someone that'll sleep with everybody. Well, what's a bitch then? A slut will sleep with everybody but you. Bloody hell, Aid. Mine made me jump then. What? Did your Alexa kick off when I said, Alexa? Before we get into tonight's putting the world to rights, this Geordie says, well done, Sunderland, best footy this weekend. Oh, bless you, Nicholas. You got thrashed with an arse. I'm not. We're not going to be nasty about the footy tonight because I think that football is one of those things that it doesn't matter which club you support. There are ups and downs, never in and out unless you're being absolutely shafted by Liverpool. So tonight, I want to tell you something. So if you come up with any good ideas, hang on a second. The 3 nuns carrying Lugers strapped to their thighs. Oh, I say. They act as Sister Mary's security service for the nunnery. Oh, I say. They've got an extremely large weapon tied to their thighs. Not the kind of nuns I want in this body of the Kirk. Shouldn't they be in Thailand? It's the hope that kills you with footy. Oh, ghetto defendant, I know. And you know, coming into this season, I mean, we were promoted, obviously. Leeds were a stronger side. Burnley were a stronger side. We went out and spent a shit ton of money on these amazing players that were like 10 million, 20 million. And I was thinking, well, it's not exactly Jack Grealish for 100 million, is it? Can they be any good? Oh, yeah, roast between the sticks. And now you've got that, I'm sure it's the same with Forest. I'm sure it's the same with the Geordies. You have the young uns that are coming up going, oh, love so-and-so, love so-and-so. Granit Xhaka, he's the best player in a Sunderland shirt I've ever seen. And then you've got the old uns going, no. Might be this season, might be recent, but he's not Charlie Early, he's not Brian Clough, and he's not Jimmy Montgomery. So I think we old uns that have seen some great players in our time, it'll be the same with Newcastle and Nottingham Forest. The newbies, the young uns, are just concentrating on maybe the last 5 years. Neil Phillips says, such is the beauty of the game, is the ups and downs. I get it. And at the moment, I didn't expect us to get 11 points so quickly. I expected us to be bottom of the league. And I'm looking at the league, third, fourth, thinking, hang on a second, am I in the twilight zone? Anyway, welcome to everyone to the body of the Kirk this evening. Thank you to everyone that's got the piles cushion. Remember, the Starmer's, it's getting colder, so the wood is going to engorge a little, so it just makes the a bit harder. So, to be truthful, there's nothing better than getting wood and it being hard. And piles cushions are over there. Sister Mary has said that although she's late after chasing big dog diggers, she'll bring the Battenberg out and the altar wine. And I said to her, be first with the altar wine, because then it'll get a bit lively. You'll need 3 Hail Marys if the body of the Kirk is not fully prepared. But I want to say something to... Alan said the most Brian Clough spent on a player was £1 million, Trevor Francis. I know. But Brian Clough and Taylor were just superb in seeing the potential of a player and how they were going to fit into a side. Same as Alf Ramsey. Alf Ramsey left out the best number 9 at the time, Jimmy Greaves. Jimmy Greaves was knocking them in for fun, and he left him out of the World Cup final side. Poor Jimmy. In my view, I don't think he ever recovered from it. But Alf Ramsey knew how he wanted his team to play, as did Brian Clough. And Labrie for Sunderland. I mean, the atmosphere in the grounds and in amongst the sides. I just don't want the usual procession of Arsenal and Liverpool and Man City and maybe Spurs and maybe Chelsea. I want some of the, the Brentfords, the Sunderlands, the other ones that are a bit surprising to actually do well this season. So I am behind Leeds. I am behind Burnley because they came up with us. Wolves, not quite sure what's going on there. And West Ham. Alan says, Jesus Christ and Peter Taylor. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Nicholas says, your altar boy rang his bell. Oh, I say. All rise. Let us rant. Thank you, Nicholas. Especially if one of the altar boys is rang his bell early doors. Yes, less of the bollocks. Let's get on with the show mission. So I want to quote Ayn Rand. Don't tell me who. Go and do your research. Ayn Rand is one of the greatest intellectuals of the 20th century, in my view. She was born 1905, died 1982. Loads of books that are heavyweight tomes. But I just wanted to bring this Ayn Rand quote to you to give you some idea and insight. And before I say that, I've been contacted quite a few times over the last few days with people suggesting this and people suggesting that. And I told you all the emails that I'm getting, I told you on Wednesday. So if you're unsure what's going on, go and have a listen to Wednesday's live. In fact, listen to the last 2 months worth of stuff that I've been bringing you. I don't suggest that you're not capable enough, and I do believe I have the most intelligent audience on YouTube. But I'm telling you stuff about stuff, and it's on the money, always. So Ayn Rand, she once said about, well, where we find ourselves in the middle of good and bad, if you want, or fascism and communism. And Ayn Rand says fascism and communism are not two opposites, but two rival gangs fighting over the same territory, based on the collectivist principle that man's the rightless slave of the state. So, do you want to talk about bollocks? Hang on a second. Have I? Hang on. Have I? Oh, shite, man. Right. Hold the line, caller. I'm just going to do something. Because even though... Come on. Thank you very much. We are going to talk about donkey. Oh, I say, hang on a second. What am I doing here? Right. Let me do that. This will only take me 10 seconds, not a first, darling. I'm just doing this because I had the ignominy of watching Laura Kunsberg. There it is. There. Right. And this interview that Arsenal did with the BBC earlier today. And it wasn't combative enough for me, if I may be so bold. It was just, she had to let him get away with some stuff. But we will talk about that in a second, now that I've got my notes in front of me papers. So just remember, there's no such thing as left or right, red or blue, communism or fascism. There's no such thing. It's just two gangs fighting over the same territory, based on the collectivist principle that man's the rightless slave of the state. And look at bloody Starmer and his henchmen and the bloating of the civil service that's going on at the minute. Hang on a second. Need to get to see that. Stand by caller. Starmer is lower than a donkey. Starmer is an ass. Oh, I say. The old waffle. So, have I put it in my notes? Hang on 2 seconds. We might as well just go in. Wanted to talk about the Ryder Cup. Has anybody, have you got Sky Sports on in the background? Because I think the Europeans are giving the Americans a spanking. I mean, Johnny Ray, ignominy. That Rev uses some great words. Don't know where it came from. I must have been eating alphabetic spaghetti for me tea. So wanted to talk about the Ryder Cup. It kicked off about 5 o'clock our time, so within a couple of hours we should know that we spanked the Americans, even though the crowd are winding our players up. They can go and foxtrot Oscar. That's the Americans and the crowd. Oh, Goldilocks. Talk about digital ID, because I've got a feeling somehow that they're going to delay it. I don't know what makes me say that, but I just know the politicians tend to kind of put it out there. And if they got, the last time I looked, the petition had 2.25 million votes to stop digital ID, and I think it'll get through 3 million easily. Neil Cunningham, thank you, Neil. Europe are up in 4 matches. Ooh, we only need 2.5 points. And I just believe that they may, because Blair tried it in 2006 and didn't get it in, so to speak. Hello, Miranda. And Charles Linton, Bow Street Magistrates, Google it. And so we needed a general election, got over, was it 3,028,000 signatures? Thank you, David. And soothes the throat. So I've done my research around digital ID, and we will talk about that because it's something that you need to know. We'll talk about the Royals. Jesus, man. I mean, I know that back in the day, like 500 years ago, we would have had Henry VIII just lopping people's heads off for just saying, "Oi, fat boy." And like, I call him Charles the Weak for a reason. So we'll be talking about Charles the Weak and the Royals and what's her face, the yacht girl in Monteshit Show. We'll talk about the most loathed man in Great Britain. We'll talk about Charlie Kirk. There's more anomalies, and we're going to play tonight. So hang on. What's that? Poor old Johnny Ray sounded sad upon the radio, moved 1 million hearts in mono, our mothers cried. Thank you, Albert Medcalf. We are going to talk about, so I want to get into it, and then once we've done some of the serious stuff, we'll get to this. Where have all the story songs gone? Thanks to my mate Dean, who came up with this genius idea for the live tonight. Where have all the story songs gone? And we will talk about some of the greatest songwriting and greatest songs. And the minute I say, I don't know, the Charlie Daniels Band, The Devil Went Down to Georgia, you'll be able to hear it in your head. You don't need to go to Spotify or anything. You'll be able to hear it in your head. And if I said, Squeeze, Up the Junction, you can hear it in there. And if I said, I could have been a ticket man at Fulham Railway Station, what a waste. You'll know it's Ian Jury. So we're going to have a look at where have all the story songs gone, and I'm going to talk about some of that and some of the artists, and because it's gone, all we've got is fucking Ginger cheering, man. I mean, and that's Taylor Swift. I mean, the kids are like, oh, they speak to my soul. What? Arsehole? What is it, Starmer song? And like I rattled off 3 wonderful songs with absolute poetry for, like, Angels, Robbie Williams, although it's not a story song. But the lyrics are poetry, and now it's I'm sitting on a lamppost with me ukulele up me arse. I mean, Taylor Swift, man, how shite is she? And don't get me ranting about the fucking ginger sphericals. That's Sheeran. And Sabrina, she has to... Look, I get misogyny in 2025, but let me just tell you this. Women turn around to me, we men, and girls, you can confirm it if you want. Women complain that we're tit talkers. Women complain that we walk around with our tongues hanging out and our eyeballs hanging out because we're ogling other women or something. And yet, have you seen what Sabrina Carpenter wears? Next to note. Dua Lipa, next to note. They're wearing underwear on stage. And they're saying, oh, you can't look at me. No, that's misogynistic. And they're trying to say Sabrina Carpenter is like that female in Gremlins 2, Paulie Gallieri, you're wrong. So, yes, I remember it. And it's like, maybe they don't want men to find women attractive that are singers. I mean, I never found Dusty Springfield attractive. I was on the wrong bus. But cheaply made music for the maximum profit. Well put, Sam. Well put. But so that's why I wanted to do a little, let's chat about the greatest story songs in the world. Now, I'll offer you a number one. I mean, I've already said Squeeze Up the Junction or Cool for Cats or Ian Jury, What a Waste. I could have been a ticket man at Fulham railway station. I mean, come on, the prose and the wit of, and at the moment, where there's loads of memes going around about Walker's swan flavoured crisps. It's the great British sense of humour. That's how we do things, because they don't want us fighting, because we're the best fighting force in the world ever. In fact, if we're the best fighting force on this planet, because we beat the Germans twice, 2 World Wars, 1 World Cup, if we beat them twice, we can beat anybody on the planet. Anybody, bare hands. That means we're the best fighters in the universe. In fact, we're the best fighters in the galaxy. In fact, we are the best fighters anywhere in universe that God has created. Alan, hedgehog crisps were nice. Bless you. Hedgehogs didn't believe so. The old Bovril says, Boomtown Rats don't like Mondays. Yeah, that is in the list. So I've got 100 of them. We'll play with that in just a little while. Des Ashton, for the benefit of Mr. Kite. There are some Beatles songs that I want to give an honourable mention to. But it's interesting that the story songs kind of went out over the last 20 years. If you look at Jury and Squeeze and the Beatles, 60s, 70s, 80s-ish, come mid-80s when it was all stadium rock, that's when the story's gone. I mean, even there's Paul Young when he was the lead singer with Street Band and they did Toast. Well, you have to be of a certain age for that. But Delilah, American Pie, Dave Johnson, yeah, all of that. Billie Jean, Gene Saga, yeah, that's on the list. So let me do some of the big stuff, the serious stuff, and then let's get into talking about music, because it's I am a bit knackered tonight, so I want an easy ride, so to speak. That'll be Sabrina Carpenter again. Oi, oi, oi. And if I may be so bold, the Beatles didn't write all their songs. Really? Who did, King? I mean, I know the early stuff they kind of borrowed from Little Richard and Chuck Berry. Vincent's a great song. Piano Man, Billy Joel, a little bit of Toast. So smash the likes on the way in. You're wrong. There's nearly 200 people watching this. Smash the likes on the way in, and wipe your feet on the way in, not on the way out. You monkey tart. Boys. Sabrina, both of her. Over My Shoulder. Well, I've tried that once. I walked like John Wayne for a fortnight. Simon and Garfunkel, the boxer. Yeah, Nicky, that's Penny Lane. Penny Lane is in my ears. I've been to those parties before. I remember as a kid a foreign woman called Sabrina who sang Boys in 1988. That was a good song. Yeah, David, I must have watched that video a million times. I think it was the pool. I just liked the pool that she was swimming in. Captain Jack by Billy Joel was so true for men, young lads. Oh, Smoke on the Water. Dave Johnson, Smoke on the Water. Fire in Disguise. Anyway, Eleanor Rigby, Des Ashton, yeah, that's going to be on the list. So shut up. Stop distracting me. I want to get into giving Starmer. So, Sir Keir Starmer, and I want you to recognise, and I can't see any of your, I need to see some of your comments just in case you're funny. Walkfit. What song's that from? My sister loves Sabrina Carpenter's new song, Man Child. Stockings and suspenders. I mean, is that to bring the female youth up, saying you can go out in your underwear? I mean, no, the bloody wonder Gen Alpha now are screwed up, and the Labour Party want them to vote. Get them and keep them away from the ballot box. They're fucking idiots. Sing it too. Why, Delilah, living next door to Alice. Alice Stephen Hall? Who is Alice? Starmer is a wanker. Beep if you agree. Oh, definitely flash your lights if you don't. The Beatles, love me do. You say goodbye and I say hello. Hello, hello. You say goodbye and I say, not a bad song, to be fair. So I want to talk about Starmer. And I want to get us to a place where we understand where we are. Sort of a sitrep, a situation report. And, hang on, what's Paulie said? Oh, Paulie, it's only you. So I said to you for a good 9 months to a year before he was elected, is he scaring you yet? You know that because you're a regular to the channel. So I was telling you because I knew what was coming. Didn't take Einstein. I'm not that bright. But I did say to you, is he scaring you yet? And you knew. You absolutely, categorically knew. And then when they get into power, holy Jesus, man. Phil the Van, not big fun by Inner City. I once emceed a concert by Inner City at the Mall in Stockton, and they did Do You Love How You Feel? That's my favourite Inner City song. Do you love how you feel? What a tune that is. Anyway, so I said to you, Starmer, he was absolutely dyed in the wool communist, dyed in the wool socialist, Marxist, anywhere you want to go to the left. But as I said at the beginning with the Ayn Rand quote, there's no such thing as communists and fascists. They're all the same. They're just two gangs fighting over the same territory because they don't care whether we live or die, any of them. And there's Rachel Reeves. Fucking rubber, Rachel Reeves. She's enough to make a saint swear, that woman. And she's claimed over $4,000 for her own heating allowance to her homes, and yet she didn't want to pay the winter fuel payments for the pensioners last winter and this coming winter. And she claimed $4,000 on fucking heating. I mean, I'm trying not to rant tonight, but cheeky bitch. I have no good things to say about this government or any government, even going back to Thatcher. I mean, I could, as I've said before, I can go back to the Lib Lab Pact. I can go back to Wilson and Heath and the shenanigans, all they've been up to, like the rent boys and the spanking and the satsumas in the gob and auto asphyxiation and all the kind of shit, deviant shit that they get up to because they think they've got the power. Yeah, Starmer's only happy when he's getting a reach around from Ukraine rent boys. So to get us here, I've said to you, is he scaring you yet? And you thought, oh, it's just Adrian. It's just Adrian. He's being funny. And yet, some of the stuff that I told you on Wednesday, people must have either been making a cup of tea and they're off out either talking to the missus or the hubby or getting, the kids' pencils ready for tomorrow morning for school. I get all that. I get real life. But I'm literally working 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to bring you the information that people are missing. And I watched this interview with Starmer today. Now, Kunzberg made it quite aggressive-ish. She pushed him quite hard, which is not a first for Starmer. Let's face it, he does like it when it's hard. Phil the Van, the Crusaders, Street Life. Randy Crawford, Crusaders. Tune, Phil the Van. So, I said to you last weekend, Starmer is buying off the Scousers. because he needs the left-wing supporters, the kind of, because Liverpool's a little red, it's a little left of centre, and I'm being gentle and kind with that. But well, my dad, he stood shoulder to shoulder with the dock strike, with the dockers in Liverpool, with all the stuff that was going on in Liverpool. So my family have supported the Scousers for many a decade. So Starmer's brought in this Hillsborough Law. And you know why he's doing that? Why he was talking about it today, and he was talking about it at conference. A, because it's Liverpool. He's already told the people of Liverpool that he fucking hates Liverpool. Direct quote. I fucking hate Liverpool. Direct quote. He didn't say it with as much venom, because, well, there's no kind of manliness in him whatsoever. Have you seen him punching that punch bag? I put it on X a little earlier. Starmer punching the punch bag. So there's 6 gags that's gone through my head that I can't use, that I was going to say. What analogy could I use? I've had hard-ons. He just, am I looking manly enough? No, where's the Fun Boy 3 and the 4 tops? You can start punching wood. So the Hillsborough Law, he's bought the Scousers off. Because all the Scousers are like, oh, wonderful. The 96, wonderful, brilliant. We've got a Labour politician, we've got a Labour Prime Minister that's looking after us, the Scousers. He didn't do it in fucking Southport, did he? You see, it's all diversionary tactics. Starmer cares nothing about the working class. And in this interview, he said, oh, it was just a field. It was just a field out the back of my mum and dad's house. It was just a field. And I paid 20 grand for it. Oh, here, mate, 20 grand. For what? A field. An overgrown farmer's field. 20 grand. They've seen you coming. Oh, must be the Ukraine Red Boys again. But, or Emile Macron on the train. So he's paid 20 G's, 20 large ones, for an overgrown field at the back of the house because mummy wasn't very well and daddy built her a commode, covered in commode, so she could sit and watch the donkeys. She didn't have to go and watch the donkeys in the fucking field. She's got a son for a donkey. She just has to watch the telly because he's never off the fecker. And sold it for 300 grand. Sam, it wasn't a field. It wasn't that he bought for 20 grand. Now, before, the kind of measure was about 4 or 5 grand for agricultural land, stuff that you kind of could build on, but you couldn't grow nothing in it. And he bought, even at the top of the market, 8 or 9 grand. He paid 20 grand for it. Had a wee and shite, man. But you see, Kunzberg didn't get into his ribs, didn't get into him and say, oi, hang on, you paid 20 grand for it. How much did you sell it for? Oh, no, it wasn't in a trust. No. Well, the Times is not going to publish shite because you can sue them. If you publish anything, oh, very good, Terry. Very good, Wookfit. So the Trojan horse, as he says, the Hillsborough Law isn't just a buy-off. It will be used to go after people the government decides to. Always beware the Greek bearing gifts. Yeah, and Trojan horses. Talking of donkeys. So Starmer, he's at it. And, I'm quoting him directly. I don't want people to leave this conference without knowing what matters to me and the government. Yeah, the people don't matter. Not putting the people first. We know who he's putting first. And at the end of it all, he wants people to know what he stands for. And he wants people to know what he's trying to achieve. Armageddon. And he's not far away. So there was the housing minister was nailed on GB News early this morning. I laughed until my incontinence pants burst. And the interviewer said to the housing minister, "How many houses you built then, Your Honour?" And Des Ashton, he always stands for himself. Yeah, if you rub it a bit. Alan says, what an absolute evil fucker. Derek Tomlinson's advocating Advance UK. I mean, I am saying now, we'll get to Starmer in a second, I am saying now, be careful what you wish for. Everybody is hoping that Farage and reform will be the hope and be the very thing that we need. It's a political party. It's full of politicians wanting power. Stephen Hall says, WEF is where his loyalty is. Yeah, I get it with Starmer, but with Farage, he's not a WEF puppet. Rich boy Sunak was, and two-tier, free gear, Coca-Cola gear on the fucking train. They're not interested in you and I. They just want power. They just want the keys to number 10. Because if you get the keys to number 10, you know that Farage will become a lord, don't you, at the end of his tenure. Because he will just play the game with the elite and the people that make the decisions. And once Farage is voted in, as will reform, there's absolutely nothing that the Labour Party can do to get into power at the next general election other than cheat. Electronic voting, anyone? No, I've told you before. I went and voted in it was local elections, and I gave them my polling card, and they zapped the voting card, and it came up with and confirm your name and your address, and I was like, yeah, and then they gave me a voting slip, which again they zapped the barcode and gave it to me, and I thought, hang on a second, you cheeky feggers. So you know my name and address, and then you know what my barcode was for voting, so you can correlate who I voted for. If you think that politicians won't cheat to get into power, go back to sleep. Your government loves you. Go back to sleep. You're absolutely a fucking waste of time. Des Ashton says they've always cheated. Of course they have. Look at America. Where did the 8 million votes more that President Brown Trousers, Shitty Pants, had than the last time? Suddenly, he's got 8 million votes more than anybody's ever, by the Democrats, been voted in the past ever. In the history of the universe, since God was just a word. Where did they go then for camel toe? It's about the Benjamins. And our donkeys, and I'm going to use donkeys quite a bit because his mother loved watching a donkey. Did she call one of them Starmer? And he's trying to get people to understand this is what I stand for. You stand for all, mate. Flip-flop Pratt. Clown from 10 Clowning Street. He's a joke. He's trying to come across all statesman like he's about as statesman as my hairy arse. And I'll bear that at any opportunity, as long as I don't get arrested. And he says, we will be judged at the next election. Mate, you're not going to get there. Do you not think? So I'm going to ask you a question. 1 for yes, 2 for no, Agincourt, 3 for, I don't know. 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for, I don't know. Do you think Reform are going to be the next ruling party in number 10 Downing Street? 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for I don't know. Starmer only stands for a reach around. Depends how many hands. Interesting. Wow. Ben Habib gave a good, honest interview on Liam Tuff's podcast. Haven't seen that yet, Derek. There's a lot of ones, but there are still some 3s, Vix Tex and Martine, I'm not sure, as this Fatal Racing Driver. But it seems to be Louise Hampson, 1 and 3, yes, and I don't know. I doubt there'll be another election. Is interesting from Random Jack. 2 gets in a car, 1111. So thank you to Ghetto Defendant and David Stewart, Derek Tomlinson, Napoleon Bonaparte, Fred Barker, hopefully 1. But Les is I think he's kind of, Les is saying, the zeitgeist. It's what everybody's thinking. Will it make a difference? Unless Farage is going to play Trump's playbook to the letter, then initially it'll be very exciting. And then, because you know that the political classes, they realised, there was a poll out today that had Reform winning 300 and odd seats, 373. Well, that's a majority. So they get in. Labour had 90 seats. Lib Dems had 60 seats. The Tories were getting obliterated. I mean, so I'm saying to you, as much as I said at the beginning, when Starmer was standing for erection, then, and Ginger Growler, because I think that Ginger Growler's trying to do him. She's trying to bring everything out, because he's done her knees. She's going to respond. The Queen of the North, oi, 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 oi. She's not going to take kindly to having her political knees done by the Rent Boy fan. And Starmer said, we will be judged at the next election, quite rightly. But he wasn't answering the fucking questions. And I know it's the BBC, and I know the BBC is funded by the government. Not TV licenses, man. It just goes into a central pot, and then the government give them some of the money. Not all the money. Where do you think the rest of it goes? Private jets. And a Ozempic for Fat Lammy's gastric band. Have you seen him today? He must have lost at least 50 stone. Give it another 6 months. He'll be a shadow of his former self. See what I did there? So, he said, we want to build an NHS fit for the future. He knows that this whole country loves the NHS, loves what it stands for, doesn't love the fact that doctors are now building their own hospitals, and doctors are making the money, and the doctors are on the grift, and the doctors are doing everything to make money. The NHS now, private work and NHS work, is simply, it's like the Ukraine of private healthcare. The money's going into the NHS to be laundered and to be put in the pockets of the medical practitioners. Bit like politics. The money goes abroad, it's washed, and it comes back into their trouser pocket, legitimately going, oh, yes, well, we sent them the money to Ukraine, and we helped them with arms and armaments, and sending the money into their trouser pocket. I'll ask you a simple question. Why do you think rich boy Sunak sent Pigfucker to Ukraine as the first thing that he had to do, literally on his first day in the job as foreign minister or whatever he decided to be? David, because look, in private, rich boy sounds like that, speaks like that. Ukraine first, then Israel second. Why is that? Rich boy, just can get out to Ukraine and have a word with Sniffy. Take him a bag or 3 and just leave it with him, and he'll take care of all the rest for us. He'll wash it for us. Not that. The money. So, Pigfucker, and that's Pigfuga, went straight out to Ukraine. And then when he was done with Ukraine, he went straight out to Israel. Why is that then? Oh, I say, we're washing money. We're going to the laundry. Wonderful. So Starmer's cut from the same cloth. Oh, seemingly a multimillionaire before he became Prime Minister. Aye, right, how do we shite? And his missus. No, you can't say that, Adrian. That's, no, you can't say that either. But, well, he's definitely not. So maybe he's not answering the questions that need to be put to him. Because if Kunzberg had nailed him to the proverbial cross, he would never have gone on her show again. Ever. I mean, can I say this to you? It wouldn't surprise me if Bojo the Clown turns up as a Reform MP. It would not surprise me at all. And then the rest of the rats will flee the sinking ship, and then Reform becomes the kind of Tories light and the right wing, and they're just right wing thugs, and well, they're racist and they're right-wing thugs and, well, we're the Labour Party and we're there for the people. No, you're there to kill the fuckers. You don't. The pensioners. Sorry, my swearing is off the chart tonight, and I apologise for that because it just makes me angry. Asylum. Oh, I'm going to smash the gangs. Oh, there we go. Rent boys again. I'm going to smash the gangs. Bend over, you dirty tart. Oh, well, daddy's in charge. And you've got smash the gangs, stop the boats. He's done neither. And yet there was one of the dinghies collapsed earlier today, and there was human beings in the water. French water. So what did the French do? Feck all. And are you aware that Starmer and his housing minister, and the housing minister couldn't name how many houses they'd built, and according to the interviewer, it was just over 100,000 new homes that's been built in the first year, and they're going to do 1.5 million in 4 years. Harder way and shite, man. Ginger Growler only got just over 100,000. They kept that quiet. But you know what else they're going to do? That they, I think, manifesto is a dozen new towns. They want to build a dozen new towns. Now, my only reference for a new town is Washington in the northeast. That's a new town. You've got Milton Keynes, new-ish. And what was the town that Charles the Weak said, oh, yes, I want to build a new town and have everybody live there, a bit like Bourneville near Birmingham, where it's for the people, by the people, of the people, just everything for the people. And, well, I just... Starmer's a moron. He's a clown. He said, we have a relationship with pride in this country. So anybody standing up, flying the flag of the nation, he doesn't kick off when it's flying from one of the royal palaces. That's Starmer. He's not kicking off when it's flown by the royals on a royal day, like some kind of pageant. It's only when the little people go, oi, 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 we've had enough, we're feeling too much pain, we've had enough. Wait till November. They're not showing Rachel Reeves on the telly. I mean, she's been sacked. She's going to be made to fall on her sword after November. Because we've seen through them. And it's only Starmer's ego that he's actually, I don't give a shit. I'm a multimillionaire. I'm the leader of the Labour Party. I can do whatever I want, including Ukrainians. So, and it's, I think the Brits, we love a bit of sexual scandal. That's why the Tories are always entertaining, because new ways of them shagging rent boys is beyond my imagination. But, you know, spanking them with table tennis bats and then auto asphyxiation, just take a rope and a satsuma, shove that in your gob. I mean, why would you shove a satsuma in your gob? Of course, I know you're wrong. I'm just being facetious. So the Tories would always entertain us with the odd, oh yes, no. I just well, I fell over and just ended up in the back of a rent boy. Is that a car in Ukraine? So Starmer said, our relationship with, we have a relationship with pride in this country. This, our beautiful, diverse and tolerant country. And I was thinking, mate, you literally don't give a flying fuck about anybody, any other human being. He's supposed to be our leader, this clown. And I can tell you this, he's not a leader. So I'll ask you a rhetorical question. What do the shadow dwellers, the elite, have on Starmer that makes him do their bidding in the background? What has he done in the past? And don't worry, I know. But if I tell you on here, I will get my brake pipes cut. Because he won't last 2 minutes. He will be taken out of the political sphere. He knows that I know that he knows. Cursal Flyers. Louise Hampson, Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP. I think the DPP might stand for something else in his case. Stuart says something career-ending is my guess. Yeah. I can't. But just wait. Be patient. Because you know, if I can tell you, I will. And sometimes I have to be cautious. But telling everybody on the telly, oh, this beautiful relationship with pride in this country, a beautiful, diverse, tolerant country. Literally, I thought, has he been sniffing the barmaid's apron? Has somebody given him a couple of Jaeger bomb liveners before he went on the telly? Or has he been, blowing his nose? And the point I was going to make to you is, they've said that they want to build 12 new towns by 2029. And you know what I'm going to say now, don't you? Oh, 15-minute city, anyone? London's halfway there. They'll have the underground, they'll have the buses, they'll have public transport. You won't be allowed to own a car in London. You'll have to get public transport everywhere. Stuart, Coca-Cola Jaeger bombs on the sniff. And seemingly, the most that they're going to get done by 2029 is 25%. They just say shit for saying shit's sake. And they laugh at you. Yes, well, today I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. I told them I was going to build some new towns, 12 by 2029. We're not going to do that. Where's that WhatsApp group for Portcullis House? Can I order a pizza? And he's talking about the things that they put in the manifesto. And he said, the things that we put in, we made those commitments. We stand by everything we put in the manifesto. Well, I'll tell you what, next general election, let's make every single manifesto a legal document that they have to adhere to. Otherwise, we'll have them hanging from fucking lampposts. Because they just lie. And everybody takes it in. And all the arseholes on the left, they're just fucking, oh, we're going to vote Labour. I've always voted Labour. My dad voted Labour. My granddad voted Labour. You're not voting Labour. You're voting for fucking Tony Blair. Are you that stupid you don't get it? I told you 18 months ago. Tony Blair, individual digital identifiers. I told you fucking 18 months ago. I told you what was going on. I told you if you vote for Starmer, you're getting Blair. Blair. Blair! Whether it's Ewan Blair or Daddy Miranda Blair, you're getting a fucking Blair. And little Ewan sitting there, his shares worth 375 million in the company that's going to do the digital ID. Oh my God, can't you not see it? I know I've got an intelligent audience, but I mean, it's so fucking obvious. Blair's evil. He's going to be a billionaire after he became Prime Minister. Him and his family are going to make so much money from the unique individual digital identifier. And you know I told you that. I was telling you through the whole summer of 2024 and you didn't believe me. You just thought it was the ranty rev. And now that we're getting to it, and look what I did weeks ago, weeks ago, I told you about digital ID. I had deep dives about digital ID. And what was it? The question was, oh, so what do we do? You fucking stand up and be counted. October 6th, London, outside of Downing Street. Stand up and be counted. Every single one of you. I'm going. Fucking hell, I hope I get arrested. Go on YouTube. They're laughing at you. And I can use the Manic Street Preachers. I've used it often enough. If you tolerate this, your children will be next. Now, I don't know whether you're old enough for grandkids. I don't know whether you're old enough to have kids yourself. But either way, I mean, there's so many, and the Matrix said it, they're so inured by the Matrix, they will fight tooth and nail to keep it. That's what the politicians do. They use psychologists so they can get stuff and shit past you, so they can laugh at you. These are professional career politicians. They're not interested in anything else. And I'll tell you again, I'm not giving you the answer, but you can get a bloody good idea. It'll make Savile look like a fucking amateur. And Gunsberg tackled him about Burnham today. And the Labour Party, those that are switched on, they know that Starmer is toxic. They know that Blair is toxic. But I told you before the general election, you vote Labour, you vote Starmer, you get Blair, you get Mandy, one of the architects of New Labour, and then it's found out that his best mate's a fucking paedophile. One of the most hated paedophile in the history of humankind. No, the wonder he had to step down. Oh, has he been in front of the cameras? No. Has he bollocks? Has he been anywhere near the mainstream media? No. Has he bollocks? Because he knows that's the third time he's been sacked. And you go, I mean, if I'd said to you 2 years ago, we're ruled by elite paedophiles that prey on young children, you would have just gone, well, my brain don't compute that, Adrian. But I tell you that now, and you kind of go, yeah. Because you're getting it. Everybody's waking up. I go online, and when a politician of a Labour hue starts posting stuff, I just say to them, don't worry, you'll be sacked at the next general election. We're rising up, we're waking up, you're going to get the sack. And they know that. Because they're testing the zeitgeist. And when you've got a minister posting something, it's not a pile-on, it's just people really, really, really blast off with the political process in this country. And now that we've got digital ID, they're absolutely going to bend you over and roger you senseless. You do know that, don't you? Because these are career politicians. They have no empathy or compassion. They just have greed. And they're after the money and after the power. And they don't give a flying whether you live or die. Especially if you're a pensioner. They want rid of the pensioners. And now in November they're coming after the middle classes. Or you think that they're not. Good luck with that. Not only are we going to hell in a handcart, we've got some deviant fuckers pulling the cart. And then I see Doom Goblin sticking her bloody, badly cut haircut above the parapet. I mean, is somebody supposed to find that attractive? Doom Goblin. Oh, hang on a second. I can see a bandwagon floating by. Oh, I'll jump on that. You've ruined my life. I'm 11-year-old and you've ruined my life. Seemingly multi-millionaire-ess, so it can't have been that much ruined. And there's Charles the Weak stand up. Oh, hello, Doom Goblin. How are you? Yes. Want to come to Buckingham Palace? Yes. Don't say that, Adrian. Alan, the law is already in. They've already snuck the law through. So once it gets royal assent in the opening of Parliament after the summer break in November, it's already there. You don't think they were going to alert you to any law going through that they were going to use? I mean, it's like the online safety bill. Online safety bill for who? The government. They don't want you hearing or seeing or typing or reading anything that is detrimental to the government. Look, your government loves you. Go back to fucking sleep, man. I've told you before, snake oil sellers, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing unless it comes to 3 Ukrainian rent boys. We know what they're doing and with who. It's all It frustrates the bejesus out of me, because it's all propaganda. It's all agenda driven. It's and I've done the deep dive with you over a few nights around the UN and the WHO and Agenda 2030. I told you what was coming. I gave you the deep dive. I hope you managed to put the jigsaw pieces together. I can't do the work for you, but I can give you the jigsaw with an overview so that you can go, oh, actually, it goes there, and yeah. Doom Goblin. She's taking Gaza aid and mentioning genocide. She's on a bandwagon. And that haircut, somebody want to tell her? I mean, maybe she's gone a bit doolally after being seen in a bikini with Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, you didn't see that? Oops. Well, I've seen the pictures. Doom Goblin and Leonardo DiCaprio. What went on there then, if anything? But she looks like she's been attacked with a set of garden shears. Not like, can you imagine going in going, well, you know, those little dolls that I had as a child when my childhood was ruined by the World Economic Forum and King Charles now. So, you know, when they ruined my childhood, I had these little dollies, and it had one of those little hairstyles where you could just pop it on the head and it would plug in, and it's just like a walking riding helmet. I want one of them. And a hairstylist must have gone, what? This is 2025. Oh, I know, but I'm a busy girl. I want something that's easy access, easy to work with, and I can just jump in the shower and walk out and my hair's done. All right, then. Used a set of garden shears instead. And there's Starmer saying that he's fighting for the soul of this country. Which bit of bullshit are people falling for? Fighting for the soul of this country. Now, you see, I told you at the general election, vote with your conscience, because I was not going to influence you whichever way. I would hope that you looked at all of the candidates and you didn't go along party political lines. But I will tell you this. He's Billy Bullshitter, Starmer. He literally just says shit because he's either being fed it in his ear or his scriptwriters have written it. Oh, should we put that in today? Oh, can you imagine they'll all kick off when he says that? Yeah, put that in. It's a bit of a giggle. Thank you, Andy. Thank you for your continued support. And you, Theo Bovril. I saw that one a little earlier. Thank you to you both. Oh, nice one. Rusty's Roamings. We've just come back from the protest from the Labour Party conference. It's bad. They've lost Liverpool. Is it really? Rusty's Roamings. Tell me, first-hand eyewitness account. If you can, stick it in the comments so I can read it out and let everybody know. Because, and I have to say this, I have a lot of love for Liverpool. As I've said before, worked for Radio City for a couple of years. Did afternoons, did drive, did the peaceful hour. And late nights, loved it. And all the people that I met in Liverpool, fantastic. I mean, there are some anomalies, obviously. Yeah, go for it, Rusty. Tell us, anyone got an update on the church incident? Is that the Mormon church? One's dead, Les. One's dead and the church is on fire. Gene Psychic, I agree with you. The Scousers, although, you know, there certain caricatures are being portrayed in telly and mainstream media, they're not fools. They're not fools by any stretch. I mean, they even saw through Derek Hatton. And Jane Psychic is correct again. They will not forget Southport. I told you, that was the turning point for this country. They'd barely been in power 6-8 months. And it's been swept under the carpet, all of it. So Rudy Cabana's father and mother and where they've come from and their connections and who stood and defended the father so he could stay in this country. Rudy Cabana's playing the game now. He's a martyr. Because what they'll do is they'll just put other stuff onto your radar so that you forget, and your Phil Levan, has Adrian's plant grown? Yeah, it's pretty triffid now. I don't know what to do. It's a yucca, a big yucca, 12, 13 years old. I've had it since it was a little thing. Not that I'm used to handling little things, you understand. Alison says, I watched the audit stream and the arrests were from the Christian and British, not someone who is Jewish and works for Jewish billionaires, Robert Shillman and David Horowitz, like T.R. and Hopkins do. Interesting. Yeah, Shillman's been all over the news over the last few days. Les Griffith says it's a feckin' triffid. Oh, I'll say it on to you. That could be an alien. I could be a front for an alien race, and the aliens look like that, and they're going to come out of their spaceship. I mean, I only have to water it once a week, so bloody hell. Here's some size, mind. So if you see it going for me, scream. Might need help. Sea Watter, 8, Soul Rebel. I'll kill the fecker. We're Rusty's Romans, man. Tell us what's going on in Liverpool. We're all kind of chomping at the bit. Oh, GB Patriot. I want that Lennon LP wall art. Where did we get that from? I think it was Portugal, Lisbon. In fact, if I can find it, GB Patriot, I'll send you the guy's details. Because obviously I saw that, and there's this Prince, and there's all the big rock gods and Queen, and he's very clever. But no, you're not getting mine, you're wrong. Johnny Ray. Well, Rusty's Rummies. I'm in my 60s and have never known anything like it against Labour in Liverpool. People were shouting at the delegates going in. They were smirking. They are so out of touch. I know. You see, that's what Louise Hampson, lots of protesting. That's why I'm not trolling anybody online. I'm just giving them facts. It's they live in the Westminster bubble. They don't care. An MP's life is not a great life, but it's very highly rewarding. And I just let them know we're very unhappy. We're waking up and we're rising up. So we'll see them at the ballot box. Enjoy your time in Parliament, because it's coming to an end. All of them. All of them. And the polls are showing that Reform and Farage are so far ahead, they are going to decimate the political classes. And they still haven't got a clue. They still don't know. The Islington elite. Yeah, Lewis. Yeah, absolutely. So I watched that interview today, so you didn't have to. And by the end of it, I was just... So, I'm going to tell you something now that not one other person, no YouTuber, nobody in the mainstream media has had the temerity to do their fucking research. And I'm telling you now, digital ID. Do you know that they had digital ID for 1 billion little Indians in India? You were aware of that. And did you know, like Vietnam, 200 million people in Vietnam? That's like, what, 4 times, almost, 3 and a bit times the populace of these sceptred isles in Vietnam alone. And do you know, I told you this because I told you in the lives last week, that there were 86 million bank accounts cancelled, like stopped. You couldn't get access to a bank account. They just flicked a switch. So I'm going to ask you a question. If you've done your research, you can put it in the comments. I don't think you have. Who created Aadhaar? A-A-D-H-A-A-R. Who created Aadhaar? Who's Aadhaar? Rev? They're the people that came up with the digital ID controlling system in India. Over 1 billion people got their digital ID. And do you know who Aadhaar is? It's Infosys. Oh, fuck me. Sideways. What do you mean, who's Infosys? Rich boy Sunak, his wife, her dad. So that's why Rich Boy and Blair have possibly been fighting over the digital ID controlling. Because they've already got a system in India that Infosys brought in. Rich Boy, he'd be even richer boy. Aadhaar, Aadhaar. It's Infosys. It was someone from Infosys that created the system. Oh, wonderful, Retro. Good to see you, big lad. The petition is almost 2.4 million signatures. So from Friday, I signed it when it had about 60,000 signatures. Within 24 hours, it had over 1 million. So in the first 24 hours, it had 1 million. Within the second 24 hours, it's had 2 million. And it's still going. It will get to 3 million this week. Absolutely. Because people have had enough. And even when we asked for a general election, Charles the Weak, man, I've never... And I do like my royals. I do like royal history. I do like, medieval history. I don't think we've had a worse king than there have been some crackers. Charles the Weak. But he is a WEF puppet also. He's not leading WEF. So you've got a WEF puppet as the monarch. You've got Fabian and WEF as the Prime Minister. The front benches were all Fabians. And Cuban Pete. You've always said that, Cuban Pete, not my king. I mean, if you want an example of how weak Charles is. So Andrew and Fergie, they're getting it tight in the mainstream media. I mean, we know about Andrew. He's just a shagger. Randy Andy for short. And Fergie, whoa, she just loves the freebie. So do you know what King Charles the Weak has done? You can't come to the Christmas party at Balmoral. I mean, can you imagine if one of your family told you, we're not having you over for Christmas this year? Oh, you're beauty. Brilliant. All that advocate for myself. And that's the best that Charles the Weak's got in his armoury. Andy and Fergie not invited to the Christmas party at Balmoral. What the hell's that? Well, it's where a big fat dude empties his sack all over your living room carpet. Not a first for the royals. John Bindon, anyone? Margaret was some girl. And I just want to make this one point, because we'll get to the music in a minute, because I don't want exactly Albert King who. Keir Starmer. So why? You know that we've got them rattled and on the run, because somebody is telling 10 Clowning Street, that Reform and Farage are going to obliterate the political classes. It's not Reform, it's not Farage, it's the working man and woman that have had enough of the bullshit coming out of the political classes. They've had enough. And we've still got to wait 4 years to get rid of these clowns? Well, Starmer's gone. Politically, he's a dead man walking backwards into obscurity. So they've tried the sex, didn't bring him down. Probably got him excited. And now it's the sleaze. It's the money. So he says he spent 20 grand on a field. I bet it was more than a fucking field. 20 grand you paid over the odds. Paid double for it. What, just because it was your mum and dad and you wanted her to watch some donkeys? She could have watched you on the fucking telly every day. Donkey enough. And then they're talking about 750 grand's worth in a trust, so he didn't have to pay any kind of tax or inheritance tax. They're all at it. And calling Farage grubby. I mean, that's like the kettle calling the frying pan grimy arse. He's calling Farage grubby after that train journey and the Coca-Cola. And the rumours of the Ukrainian rent boys and the Four Tops and the Fun Boy 3. I mean, I'll just put a full stop at the end of this particular subject. It is the WEF agenda. It's the UN and WHO agenda 2030. They want it in place by 2029. That's why they're talking about we want to have all of the new towns built by 2029. We want digital ID and everything. And it's mandatory. That's not the same as legal. Mandatory means we're telling you you have to have one to go to work. Well, fuck off then. Everybody's just going to down tools. The country will be flat and finished within 3 days if every single working man and woman said, no, we're downing tools. The country would grind to a halt within 3 days. But then they'll just punish us for not doing as we're told. But what they don't realise is everybody's going to rise up against this. Because everybody can see it. The Chinese Communist Party. That's because the Chinese are thick, man. You go to any casino and it's filled with the Chinese from Chinese takeaways gambling everything away that they've got. Tell me I'm wrong. I've been in the casinos. It's full of the Chinese gambling. Go over to Canada. Hell, it's little China in Vancouver. Now, the only way that they can take over the world is just by saying, all right, you can go to Canada, you go to America, you can go, oh, bloody hell, do you want to go to London? Not sure about that. Do you want to go to Berlin or Paris or there's billions of us. There's only millions of them. As in, there's billions of the Chinese and there's only millions of the Americans. I mean, there's how many? A couple of billion Chinese? There's only 330 million Americans. They can just infest everywhere on the planet. And then they'll just get like MK Ultra. They'll just get activated. I promise you today, I was trying to not have a rant tonight. Simply because, I don't know about you. Do you know when you kind of, there are others that have more fortitude than me in the comments tonight. I know they do because they continue. But I read this shit every day and it's just like a tsunami of shite. And you can't, it gets to a point where I think, am I an alien? Am I mad? Am I the only one that thinks like this? Am I the only one that's aware of what they're doing and how they're doing it? Surely, but surely there's other people in this country are as switched on as everybody in the body of the Kirk tonight. You see, where they win is organisation. They're not going to allow, because they want to have and know everything about you and I. They're not going to allow us. And yet, what I am going to do over the next week, so just to let you know, there's not going to be a live tomorrow night. I'm going to take some time to go and see some friends, some dear friends. So I'm going to spend the day seeing my friends, which I'm very much looking forward to. Is that Freeze Me Sweetbreads, Terry? And yes, thank you for that. I'm just going to take a couple of days just to sort of have a bit of real life. I mean, I'm still going to go. Don't worry, we've still got a little bit to do tonight, but I just it feels appropriate now to say that there won't be any lives for the next 3 nights. I'm going to go and see friends. I'm going to take a bit of time because this is. It's almost like what was the film? Was it Alien? The Can't Hear You Scream in Space. It's like screaming and literally not being able to communicate how I know and what I know. Oh, Terry, your beauty. Nice. So I just need to sort of regroup so that I can be, I love a bit of a rant every now and again, you know that, but I want to be proportionate and appropriate, and I want to be able to bring you things for your understanding. And it's not, it's because I want you to do this for you, your family, your community, and the wider populace of this country. We're a fantastic country. People revere us the world over. Bizarrely revere our royal family. They revere our heritage. I've told you before, my family, I can trace my family on my mum's side back to 1600 years in this country. We floated a bit with the French, but then again, we went across there and they were British, the French, much to their chagrin. See what I did there? So I have great pride in this country and the people of this country. Or you know, I've lived in Scotland and Wales, not Northern Ireland yet, but and I have great affection for all the different communities and backgrounds and heritage and everything that this sceptred isle stands for, more than these weak monarchs and being told what to do by the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, because that's what it is. Soros, he's going to be indicted, that boy. Trump's not holding back now. He doesn't know how long he's got, so he's in for them. So grab your popcorn, buckle up, buttercup. It's going to get bumpy, certainly in America. So I want to, I'll do a little bit about Charlie Kirk, because there's questions and questions and questions. And then we'll get on to the songs, because that'll be a lovely way to sort of round tonight's live off. But Charlie Kirk, there's even more anomalies, and I try to get to the bottom of these things. And it's very interesting as an exercise, because once something has been done, then that's when the PR takes over, the propagandist takes over. So I'm going to ask you this question. Where's Rusty's? My granddad was Jewish. I'm in no way ashamed of that. Nothing to be ashamed of, Rusty's. But technically, it's the female line. Thank you, Alison. Alison I didn't eloquate this sufficiently, but Alison says, don't blame you taking time out. It's blooming, complex, and exhausting. Oh, you're very kind, Alison. Thank you. It is that, but sometimes you just need, as Terry said, just need grounding. So I'm going to go and see my friends that I haven't seen in a while. I'm just going to spend some time with them. I want to go and see my sister and spend time with her. There's other stuff going on. I'm taking Tuesday for I'm not going to be doing any lives for the next 10 weeks or so, because I'm going to be supporting the Mankind Project. And if there are organisations for the women of the parish, Women in Power, women. There's organisations just for women, and the Mankind Project I love dearly, because some of our younger men that are coming through, they're looking for wisdom. They're looking for men that can, without judgment or without being condescending, just stand for them. And I'm going to be doing a 10-week course in support of new guys coming to the organisation. If you want to do any research, it's called the Mankind Project. I'm very proud and honoured to be able to support men that are coming from trauma, maybe childhood trauma or life trauma or anything. The Mankind Project is, and look, I would have thought it was tree hug and hippie shite 2 years ago, but I just had an experience, and I just felt it's one of the best things I've ever done, and got rid of, my story, the stuff that happened to me when I was a kid. It just allowed me to deal with that and face that. So I just want to give back. I just want to be in service of other people, which is roughly what I do with these lives. I just want to be in service of you, because that validates and gives me an enormous sense of well-being. So I'm going to be doing that for the next 10 Tuesdays, just supporting my Mankind Project brothers, because it's really important. And the way that society is nowadays, and if any of the ladies of the parish, they're looking for some kind of support away from, because life's stony, life's hard. And if you need support, then just get in touch and I'll pass you on to the female groups that are very wise, very ancient, and you don't hear any of it in the mainstream media. Mankind Project, don't need to, it's a charity. Don't need to publicise it. Men will find the Mankind Project, and women will find, like Women in Power and some of the other female organisations, because if you search for it, then you are in need of it. And if you are in need of it, it is given freely. And that's why I support the Mankind Project and all the work they do all across the world for men. Because we, not to get preachy at all, I've told you, I thought it would have been tree hug and hippie nonsense until I had this experience. And now I believe that we need to be, I believe that I need to be in service of my fellow man and woman. And that's why I do this, to try and make sense of it. So I'll get to the Charlie Kirk. Oh, Karina Jane, you're fabulous. Thank you. So let's talk about Charlie Kirk. There's more anomalies coming out. There's more questions coming out. And I can't... Look, I'm a cynical old tart. I don't care what they tell me. I know they're not telling the truth. So they released 33,000 files, Epstein files. And didn't anybody ask why it was 33? 33, the age of the Christ. 33 vertebrae in every human being. If you want to talk about Kundalini energy, we can go that far. The rise of the Christ or the return of the Christ, they're talking about the physical body, man. Don't these Catholic deviant fuckers in Rome. No, it's bullshit. The whole book is allegory. It's there as a control mechanism. You don't think that they've had the Council of Nicaea and other meetings of the ne'er-do-wells, and they decide, oh, we'll get rid of that. We're not going to have the Book of Enoch. We're not going to have the Book of Mary Magdalene. No. It's a control mechanism. So when the FBI tell me, oh yeah, we've got the shooter, I don't, we ain't shite, man. I don't believe that Tyler Robinson is guilty of anything. And why? Because it's a very simple question that I want you to reflect on. Where are the video timestamps on the CCTV that they've been showing us? Where are the video timestamps? I'll tell you, they don't exist. Well, they do on a CCTV system, but they don't want you to think that, oh, hang on a second, that's how to kill her. That doesn't fall in with the timeline of him supposed to be doing that. So the video of the male running away across the rooftop and jumping down. 12:22. And this is where it gets important. According to the indictment, Charlie Kirk didn't get shot for another 5 minutes. He got shot at 12:27. But what the FBI are telling you is that this man that they've got the accused in custody ran away across the rooftop, jumped down at 12:22. What they don't show you are the video timestamps, because then it doesn't fit with their narrative. The indictment says he was shot at 12:27, and the video timestamp of the boy running away and jumping down from the roof happens at 12:22. Explain that then. There's no footage whatsoever of Tyler Robinson in the prone position on CCTV. We've had FBI Director Kash Patel say, yeah, we've got a forearm imprint. Show us where, and show us the video of him in the prone position. Because if you've got the video of him running across the roof and then jumping down, you've also got video footage of the shooter, and I use that in the loosest of terms, firing on Charlie Kirk on CCTV in the prone position. But it's really simple questions that you have to pay attention to, because, as I say, they flood the zone. They put so much information in the zone, then you kind of back off and go, Jesus, there's so much. I don't know whether I can make sense of this. As I said a little earlier, I'm just taking a couple of days just to back off, ground myself, see some of my friends, and just regroup so that I can go again for another 3 months or however long without flinching. So I'm going to ask you this really, really simple question. How did the shooter get on the roof? There's no ladders there. It's that simple. They don't want you to ask the simple questions because they're the most obvious questions. How did, if it was Tyler Robinson or whomever, how did the shooter get on the roof? Who was he? Steve Austin, the $6 million man? Just jump. No. So the access and egress, as I've been saying from the day that Charlie Kirk was shot, it was professional because the access and egress was looked at and worked out by military or with military precision. And I've got another really simple question. You know the old boy, George Zinn, 71 years old. He was like, I shot him. And then everybody was like, oh, yeah, brilliant, they've got the shooter. And he said, oh, I did that to let the shooter get away. So really simple questions. Let's kiss principle, keep it simple, stupid. How did he know who the shooter was? And how did he know that he had to make a fuss so the shooter could get away? Which shooter? Can you see? They're confusing you by flooding the zone with so much information that you forget to ask the really simple questions. Where's the video timestamps? How did the shooter, if it was from the roof, and there are other theories, how did he get on the roof? No ladder, because he would have gone down the ladder to get off the roof. I don't believe Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk at all. I'm not sure about some of the other theories, but I don't believe that that man on that roof shot Charlie Kirk. How did he get up there? Why wasn't he seen? And Kash Patel, question for him, what happened to George Zinn? I'm hearing that they're looking at another 20-odd people that they want to arrest or have a word with. 2 shooters? How do they know? Surely they would have sanitized the whole of the university and got every bit of CCTV footage from them and are now ploughing through it. Told you before, they're not telling us the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. They're not. What else was I going to tell you tonight? Let's have a look at this. What's that? Honestly, I had so much information on Wednesday, I didn't get a chance to do it, and I've not had a chance to do it this evening. I just want to finish on something a bit light. Now, what this is interactive, so I want you to tell me in the body of the Kirk. I'm going to ask you a question that my mate Dean asked me earlier, and he said, what's happened to all the story songs? There used to be songs that were stories, and we would hear the stories, a bit like, can you remember Rod Stewart, The Killing of Georgie, parts 1 and 2? That was a story song. Can you remember Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody? That was a story song. Can you remember the Beatles, Hey Jude? That was a story song. This is when talent was talent. So there's a couple of questions I'm going to ask you. One, what was or is your favourite story song? Is it the Kinks, Lola? Is it Bowie, Space Oddity? Is it Elton John, Rocket Man? I'd heard the rumours. Was it, and I did this for an English exam, was it the Beatles, Eleanor Rigby? My favourite? I mean, I love a bit of Dusty Springfield because she had a very, very, very unique voice, wonderful voice. There's even Mike and the Mechanics, The Living Years. But Squeeze, Cool for Cats, Up the Junction, anything by the Kinks. But my favourite, Ian Dury, What a Waste. For the one line. It doesn't, and every time I hear it, it just brings me an enormous sense of well-being because it's that quirky, pearly king, queen. We're unusual. We're eccentric in this country. Why can't we celebrate our eccentricity in our beliefs, in our values, in our principles? Why can't we embrace our eccentricity? New boots and panties. Ian Jury, what? I mean, just genius with prose. What a waste. For the one line, I could have been a ticket man at Fulham railway station. What a waste. How beautiful is that? And that's in a song. And I always thought that it would be poetry. Albert Metcalf says Penny Lane. Oh, Fred Barker. WOLD. Harry Shapman is my favourite. That's a fantastic song, Fred. Oh, God, I love that song. All Right Now, Free. Yeah, I see you. Alan, Won't Get Fooled Again, The Who. Fool on the Hill, the Beatles, Vix Tex. That's a beautiful song. Bob Dylan, The Times They Are A-Changing. Golden Brown, Texture Like Sun. Lays Me Down, With My Mind She Runs. Wonderful, Alison. Time by Pink Floyd, Napoleon Blown Apart. Anything by Pink Floyd is always goes up in my estimation. Dominic Beresford says Space Oddity, Bowie. That's in the that's number 5 in the top 100. I have the top 100 in front of me. It depends on my mood. Always choose your music according to your mood. Maybe I should have been listening to Firestarter, Twisted Firestarter. That makes me run through walls. And also for the John Barnes rap in 3 Lions by New Order. With 3 lions on my chest, you can't go wrong. Fucking hell. When I'm in the gym, honestly, I'm an old boy. They look at me as if I'm having a heart attack. I'm just listening. You've got to hit them and hurt them, defend and attack. There's only one way to beat them, get round the back. We're talking Starmer again. I'm an England man. 3 lions on my chest. I can't go wrong. Don't need to go fighting. Just need pride. There was, who else was there? The Kinks, The Day They Shut Down the Pally. Great song, the old Bovril. The Blockheads were so underrated as musicians, says O'Rourke Keeder. I agree with you. And Ian Jury was, his poetry is just, and I'm friends with his daughter on Facebook, and that's one of the greatest honours, because it just, oh God. I mean, there was a film about Jury, his kind of life story, and I just never wanted to leave the cinema. I even went to see a play about Jury and his shenanigans with his with one of his minders, and he just lived his best life, and it came out in his prose, in his poetry, and he was a great actor. Where are we? Golden Brown, Time. Yeah, got those. Folsom Prison Blues, Johnny Cash. How About a Boy Named Sue? Who was that? Tom Hardy's How About a Boy Named Sue? How Do You Do? Take a Walk on the Wild Side. That, I think, is in, I've just seen it. Yeah, it might be in the top 20. Can you remember Peter Sarsted? Where do you go, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed? Oof. I mean, they got away with some stuff. I mean, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, obviously they denied it and still deny it. Steve Harley, Sebastian, great song, Napoleon. Vincent Beeswing, and I Feel So Good, all Richard Thompson. Ooh, interesting, Andrew. Don't, man. There's a few songs that make me really homesick. Really, really homesick. And Knopfler's Going Home is one of them. Lindisfarne, Run for Home. Jimmy Neal, The Big River. Because although I'm Mackham through and through, I work the nightclubs in Newcastle. I love Newcastle. There's nothing I can do about the clashing of the two clans. But so Big River, Run for Home, and Knopfler's Going Home. Oh, Jesus H, man. How about Godley and Cream, Under Your Thumb? The Kinks just wrote story after story after story. The Kinks' Celluloid Heroes. Who else we got? Let's go through some of yours. The Scaffold, Lily the Pink. Heard it the other day and thought that fits today in this crazy world. I'll have another listen to that, Ian. Thank you for the steer. How about Baker Street? Jerry Rafferty, says Annie Watt. That's a great song. I was only a kid. I was buying pints at 25p a pint. I thought that was extortionate. 19 pence in some pubs. 19p for a pint. Listening to Jerry Rafferty. I was only 17. Watford. Oh, Ruby, don't take your love to town, you slag. Oh, yeah. Who sang Billy, Don't Be a Hero? Oh, Alan, you've got me there, man. Billy, don't be a hero. Don't be a fool with your life. Yeah, Jimmy is the boy. Thank you to everyone that's... Tears for Fears, Mad World. I know. You see, wonderful. It's this quintessentially English eccentricity that we all hold, but we're kind of battened down by... Oh, you can't say that. No. It's offensive. What do you mean it's offensive? It's offensive to be English now? Pints are over £6 in my local. Stuart, I went down to oh man, come on, King's Cross. And there's a pub there, like a post office or something. And I went in there, it's just me and my mate. And I said, I'll have 2 pints of Guinness. And he went, oh, it's 20 odd pounds. I went, fucking hell, at least Dick Turpin wore a mask. How much? He said, oh, well, it's nearly £11 a pint, sir. I said, Jesus, it would be cheaper for me to go home and buy a pint of Guinness in my local than it is to buy it here. And that's including the train fare. Oh, XTC, Amalia, we're only making plans for Nigel. What a fantastic song that is. Spirit in the Sky, Norman Greenbaum, English bottle cap, nearly couldn't say it. Fog on the Tyne is all mine, all mine. The fog on the Tyne is all mine, where you bugger. Dave Stewart, Christopher Cross is Sailing. That is just a fantastic song. And it's so beautiful. And like the kids, it's what, 1980, 81? So it's 45 years old. The kids won't know any of it. But Christopher Cross Sailing. Oi, 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 oi. What a song. Beata, what about Matchstick Men and Matchstick Cats and Dogs about Larry the Painter? Great little tune. Wasn't that somebody and Michael? Was it Brian and Michael? Yeah. Oh, Sparking Clogs. That's proper northern. The shandy drinkers don't wear them. Ferry Across the Mersey, beautiful, Ian McGee. And, oh man, Jerry and the Pacemakers. Jerry, what's his face, was a shareholder at Radio City when I was there. And Jerry Marsden. And he used to come in every now and again. I used to meet him just, and for a daft lad from the Northeast, just kind of, I don't even ever seen these people on TV. So I don't get struck, but it's just, you know, there's the old saying, you're no more than 3 handshakes from anybody in the world. Well, I've shook hands with Brian Clough, who's shook hands with Muhammad Ali. So I was only 1 handshake away from one of my heroes. And the Queen. Army Dreamers, Phil Levan. Army Dreamers is a great Kate Bush song. There was a time when my dance band wouldn't play Cole Porter's Love for Sale. I thought it was too risque. Really? Wow. And now we're in 2025, and it wouldn't seem like it would be a nothing almost in 2025. Elvis, Can't Help Falling in Love, my aunt and late uncle's wedding song. And honestly, I don't know what's going on with me today. So, wise man says, only fools rush in, but I can't help. See, that's why the new Mrs. Allen's a keeper, because she walked down the aisle to that. I will forever be thankful. I mean, it's the Sunderland song, and I didn't pick my football team, but wise man says, only fools rush in, because I can't help falling in love with you. Like beating Forest 1-0 yesterday, brings tears. Lying Eyes, the Eagles, absolutely. And what was that Australian band? I've gone too far. We've already had a Top of 69, Jerry Rafferty, Baker Street. Fantastic song. I mean, just from the start, it's just so evocative. Have you seen her? Chi-Lights, great band. Sorry, great group. Take these chains from my heart, Ray Charles. What a talent Ray was. No, I'm not gonna. Oh, Roger Whittaker, the Whistler. I got to leave old Durham town. Terry, yeah, we're 2 peas in a pod. Elvis, always on my mind. Annie Watt, great song, beautiful song. Terry Woodford, my wedding song. Who put the dogs out? Oh, wonderful, Stuart. My aunt walked down the aisle to that song as well. And it was, do you know, it was the new Mrs. Allen that suggested it, because it's kind of emblazoned, if I may be so bold, emblazoned on my heart. And it's just, I mean, yes, of course, there's Elvis, and there was the Elvis film recently, a couple of years ago, and they did a different version of it. I heard a jazz version of it today. It still holds that power. And that's what music is. It's emotion wrapped up in maybe a 7-inch single or an album track, but it's just the artist, in my view, saying what sometimes you can't find the words to say. And that's music. That's the beauty of music. And we all have favorite artists, favorite songs. Oh, Nielsen, Lady Stardust, Nielsen Without You. What a song that. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Richard Marks right here waiting. Karina Jane, fantastic. Gene Psychic, Oliver's Army, Elvis Costello. Wow, Rusty's Roamings. We were at Jerry Marsden's last live performance. He wasn't a well man. He passed a few weeks later. I know, but it was such an honour for me to be in the building when he came in for, I don't know whether it was a shareholder meeting or something, but he was always very approachable. And every time I saw him, I just went, Jerry, I know I've done it before, but do you mind if I just shake your hand? And he was like, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. I didn't have a clue who it was. But Delilah Tom Jones says, Super Ted, status quo in the army now, GB Patriot. Candle in the Wind, Peter Rees Jones, Elton John singing that at Diana's funeral. I mean, it nearly broke the whole country when he sang that. And the royal family came back from that. Charles Aznavour, She, beautiful song, Annie Watt. Echo's Bunny Woman, Simply Red, Holding Back the Years. Yeah, he's still touring. I think he's got a big tour coming up next year, hasn't he? So I think I'm going to call it a day at that. It's just invoking. Nicholas sent you a tweet. Unbelievable. All right. Yeah, I'll catch up with that, Nicholas. Thank you. Nikki Watson, I do love you. Will never walk alone. Yeah. Yeah. Right. That's it. You're wrong. I will go through these comments again. Love will keep us together. Annie Watt, Captain and Tennille. What a tune that is. Yeah, Mother Teresa, sandals in the bin. Yeah, she died the same day. Nobody paid the blindest bit of attention to her. The Beatles, Something in the Way She Moves. Oh, yes, something. Phil Levan. Do you know that's the most streamed song of any Beatles song, and it was George Harrison's, not Lennon and McCartney. Beautiful. Thank you, Theo Bovril. Beata, agree. I love music. I listen to it all the time. It's therapeutic too, especially in these days. Yeah, because there's music for every mood. As I say, if I'm in the gym and I'm a bit tired and I just want to run through walls, I'll stick the John Barnes rap with New Order on, or I'll stick Firestarter on by what's its face. Can't think. I'm too tired. Thank you, Stuart. So the next live technically is going to be next Sunday. I will try and do other stuff during the week, but just allow me a couple of days away just to kind of reground myself and see my friends and just, you know, seeing my friends is always a joy, always. And I can't really, if I'm doing 4 nights a week and I'm doing other videos and stuff, Prodigy, thank you, Phil Levan. I don't really, Garen Davis, November Rain. I mean, Guns N' Roses made some tunes. Yeah, top of the Pops theme, Yellow Pearl by Phil Lynott. I can't speak now. I'm going to have to go. I literally can't speak. Can't string a sentence together. But I am going to, I might publish these top 100 songs that I put together in a list. Kate Bush, Kinks, Ray Davies, Smiths, This Charming Man or Girlfriend in a Coma, Blur, Parklife, Country House, Oasis, Don't Look Back in Anger. Oh man, just some of the songs. The Clash, London Calling, Pistols, Anarchy in the UK. Oh, my punk days. So be well and be safe always. Whatever you do, wherever you go, thank you for your likes. Smash the likes on the way out of the body of the Kirk this evening. Thank you for your likes, your subscriptions, but most of all, your indulgence. My name's Adrian Allen. I wish you well for a few days. Bear with me while I just catch up and reground myself. The next live will be next Sunday. I'm hoping to do other videos during the day for you, just to kind of keep you ticking over. And whatever you do, wherever you go, just make sure you've got a bit of emergency Battenberg. And the theatre of the mind is not a show, it's a mission. It's a mission for the truth, to find out who we are. Be well. See you next Sunday for a live, videos in between. Hope you've enjoyed tonight.